You've decided to drop the keyboard and you've got a brand new Azeron keypad. You want to hop on Overwatch, but you don't know where to start with keybinds. So today we're going to cover everything you need to know. First, if you haven't already, go to azeron.eu/download and download the latest software. Once that's done, create a profile and name it Overwatch. Once you create a profile, you can click on it and bind it to onboard memory by choosing OBM1 or OBM2, and you can switch between the two onboard memory profiles with this button on the side. Next, open Overwatch and make sure all of the controls you want to use are bound to a button. It doesn't necessarily matter what buttons you use because we're going to match them in the Azeron software. And I've created custom names for each bind to make it easier to understand, so let's start at the top. In this tutorial, I am using the Azeron Cyborg Compact, so if you have a different model, you can use this as a starting point and replace any binds by preference. But starting at my first few top rows, I have escape. I can create highlights, check the scoreboard, and I use my D-pad for different comms such as group up, thanks, fallback, and going in. I can also press down on the D-pad to access my emote wheel. On the second row, I use my index finger for the reload button. I have crouch on my pinky, ultimate on my ring finger, and my E ability on my middle finger. And right next to that is interact on my index finger. My other ability is on the side button here, right next to my index finger. On to the next row, we have jump, weapon 1, and weapon 2 on my index finger. The only time you may have to use this is typically with Mercy, but most heroes only have one weapon. And of course, on my middle finger, I have the most important comm.
Greetings.
And on my bottom row, I have a couple more comms. I have need healing, very important, my ultimate status, hero select, and my spray for my tag and bags. Overwatch actually doesn't use as many slots as other games I've played, such as Fortnite or Apex, so you have a lot of free keys to use at your will. I recommend adding as many quick comms as you can for quick access. Otherwise, you have to reach out to your keyboard or use your emote wheel. The last part I'm going to cover is the movement. This game does not support 360 movement, so you do have to use WASD, but it does support 8-directional movement. As you can see, you can move diagonally. It's not as good as a controller, but it definitely helps. So let's open up the software. To access your WASD settings, you click this little cogwheel. Make sure you have keyboard selected, otherwise this is not going to work. This angle is set to a personal preference. It all depends on what angle your joystick is set at. So make sure you have that adjusted to your comfort and then set that to something that you like. I keep my lower and upper dead zone at 0, 5, 12 and sensitivity at 0. The rest is all set, don't touch it. After that, you can go to settings, make sure dark theme is on, scroll down to button throttling. Personally, I keep this at 3, and make sure you calibrate your analog joystick. You can do that by hitting reset, calibrate, and follow the directions given by the software. That is going to do it for my Overwatch 2 keybinds. I'm going to leave the full layout up one more time if you'd like to pause the video and mess around with them. If this video helped you, do me a favor and drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. If you have any questions, feel free to hop in my Discord or leave a comment below. All socials are in the description. Good luck in your games.